Picture this. It's the early 1960s, and you're about to take a bite of a frozen pizza that's so burnt it could double as a hockey puck. Yeah, we're talking about the kind of pizza that's more rock than dough. But this wasn't a desperate attempt to impress a date or a late-night study snack. For Tom Monaghan, it was simply another dinner on his long list of misfortunes. Life dealt him a deck of cards with more holes than Swiss cheese, and yet somehow he managed to turn it into one of the biggest food empires of our generation. Yes, we were talking about the man who took a failing pizza joint called Domino's and turned it into Domino's Pizza, the global phenomenon we all know and love. Now hold up. Before we dive into the cheesy goodness of his success story, let's rewind the clock back to where it all began. Born in 1938, young Tommy grew up fast. His parents split when he was 4, and his dad passed away when he was 14, leaving his mom and him all alone on Christmas Eve. Soon after, she gave him to a nun-run orphanage because she thought she just couldn't handle it anymore. I can't imagine how that might mess with a kid's head, especially around the holidays. But instead of being a victim of his circumstances, Tom channeled his energy into mischief, like most of us do. However, that energy didn't always land him on the straight and narrow path. After getting kicked out of seminary, dead last in his high school class, and dropping out of college 6 times, you'd think Tom would have realized that formal education wasn't exactly his forte. Instead, he decided to follow his heart and enlist in the U.S. Navy, which apparently had a +1 policy because they also accepted his pet parrot. Jokes aside, he didn't fare much better there either, managing to get himself dishonorably discharged within 2 years. To say his academic record was lackluster would be putting it mildly. Despite this less-than-stellar track record, Tom wasn't deterred. He had big dreams and even bigger plans to make it big in the world of entrepreneurship. And when we say big, we mean seriously huge. He wanted to build a multi-million-dollar business empire. Sure, maybe he wasn't cut out for the traditional school system, but that didn't stop him from thinking outside the box and pursuing his dreams. But then came the punch that knocked him off his feet, a devastating blow that nearly sent him down a darker path, literally. One day he found himself scammed out of every penny he owned. It happened when he got swept up in a fake oil well scheme. Imagine saving up every penny you've got only to watch it vanish into thin air. It's like watching your dreams go up in flames. This was more than just financial loss. It was a gut-wrenching betrayal that left him feeling broken and hopeless. In a moment of desperation, he called his mother for help, only to be met with the harsh reality that she couldn't assist him either. She was struggling to make ends meet herself. In fact, she could barely afford to pay for her own phone service. It was during this dark time that Tom's resolve almost crumbled. He found himself contemplating the unthinkable, wondering if it would be better to fade away quietly or face the harsh glare of public scrutiny. When he was just 23, he found himself homeless, hitching rides and sleeping in his car with just $15 in his pocket. You'd think that was rock bottom, but wait, there's more. His brother Mike, who he had called for support during his time of need, responded with a slap in the face. Mike suggested they go into business together, stating that he already had it all figured out. Their plan involved purchasing a failing pizza shop for $900, with Tom pitching in half the amount and Mike handling the rest. But here's the kicker. Mike added a clause to their agreement. He stated that if Tom backed out for any reason, he would not only lose his $450, but would also have to forfeit his brand new Volkswagen Beetle. Guess what? Tom agreed, sealing his fate and setting the stage for an unbelievable twist. In a move that shocked them both, Mike unexpectedly quit, taking their only delivery car with him. Talk about a plot twist. Now you're probably wondering why anyone would agree to such a one-sided deal. Well, let us enlighten you. Mike was never satisfied with anything he had and constantly felt the need to be in control. Buying the pizza shop seemed like a solid opportunity to him, but only if he was the sole owner. This meant he convinced Tom to sign the agreement, knowing that he would likely back out, giving Mike complete control over the business. Little did he know that he had just set in motion a series of events that would change both their lives forever. Tom found himself with a failing business, burnt pizzas for meals, and not enough cash to pay rent. But instead of throwing in the towel, he pulled out his secret weapon: hustle. Despite the odds stacked against him, Tom refused to give up. He redoubled his efforts, determined to make a success of the pizza shop. What followed was a domino effect of smart moves that turned the business around and set it on a path to success. First up, he introduced free delivery, which was revolutionary at the time. Next, he created the genius marketing campaign, 30 minutes or free, which kept drivers on their toes. Let us not forget about his bold move to fight off pizza thieves by hiding in cars and ambushing them with a meat tenderizer. Yes, you heard that right. He literally fought off pizza bandits with a meat tenderizer. Now, that's a sight you don't see every day. He didn't stop there. He simplified the menu, getting rid of sandwiches and focusing solely on pizza. And guess what? Worked. But Tom wasn't done yet. He had bigger plans for Domino's. In 1998, he made the shocking decision to sell the company for $1 billion to focus on his true passion, faith. He founded Ave Maria University, built churches in poverty-stricken countries, and even attempted to launch a burger chain. Yes, the man who brought us Domino's Pizza tried his hand at burgers too, but that's a story for another day. Today, Domino's continues to thrive as a $17 billion giant with more than 18,000 stores worldwide. And we can't help but feel a sense of pride knowing that it all started with a guy who once ate burnt pizzas for dinner. So what's the moral of this crazy tale? Well, first off, don't judge someone's future based on their past. Just because Tom didn't excel in school doesn't mean he wasn't destined for greatness. Secondly, when life throws you burnt pizzas, make lemonade out of it. We mean make a pizza empire out of it. And finally, always deliver your own damn pizza. Because let's face it, if Tom had given up after losing everything, we might not have had the pleasure of enjoying a piping hot Domino's pizza on a Friday night. And hey, if you want more stories of legendary entrepreneurs who started with nothing, stay tuned. We've got plenty more where that came from. Now go forth, young Padawans, and conquer the world one pizza slice at a time.